Alright, well, we're back here again, and today, as you can see with the picture that is shown in front of you, that we're working with some paint today. Well, maybe you thought, well, painting is over. Well, no, it's not. As I said in the other episode before this, we have some touch-up work to do. So we are back again with the Osha Green paint, the paint that we use for the interior. And what we're going to do today first is we're going to turn the caboose on its side. I am going to get a small paintbrush, kind of like that one, and we're going to use it to paint under the windowsills at the tops where I kind of missed before, so we'll get some touch up with that. And then we'll come back with the red paint we use for the exterior, and we have these cool little tools called micro brushes. And we're going to use them to touch up with the red and the ever so small parts around the windows. So let's get this paint over. So as you can see from this angle, we have the caboose turned on its side. So you can see we have easy access to the top and bottom of the windows of where I might have missed when I painted the inside. So we have that paint stirred up, so let's get painting. Alright, so now that I have touched up with all the Osha Green, alright, we're going to take one of these micro brushes and we're going to use it with the red. Since it's got a smaller brush head, we can get in those just tiny little spots with the red paint and touch up anything that doesn't look pleasing. So let's get to that. Alright, well, that's it for the touch-up work on this side of the caboose. You can see as I'm painting across, inside, there's not any Osha Green on the windowsills. And the micro brush did a very good job of taking care of that. As I go across to each window, you can see that they're all clean. So now we're going to let those dry a bit, and we're going to come back and repeat the same to the other side. Okay, we're back. It might look familiar, yes. It's just the opposite side of the caboose, and like I said, I came back just like the other side, touched up all the overbleed of the Osha Green on the sides of the windowsills, and it all looks beautiful. So as of right now, we're ready for the next step, and that would be to turn the caboose upright again and just give the floor another quick coat of Osha Green. Because as you can see in here, if you look right there very close, you can see it does need a little bit of touch up in here. So, and plus it's always nice to give the floor an extra coat because that's the area that probably would get the most use. And it's just good to give it a little bit more protection, so we're going to give the floor one more coat of Osha Green. Alright, well, the floor has got a good coat. I gave it 2 coats this time, so it's really good and covered. As you saw, I rolled the walls just a little bit, and all that paint should dry the same color, obviously, so that should be alright if I didn't cover everything. It's just still wet, so just touched up the sides just a little bit, and especially the floor, and it looks really good. So that's it with that step. So let's move on to what we're gonna do next. Alright, well, we're back, and we're figuring out where these roof pieces go while we're waiting for the paint to dry. And let's see how we do this. Okay, so you just saw us working on these roof pieces up here. We had to touch up a little paint on the other one, and we'll get those glued down over there. As you can see, we have some tape marks to show where they go. As for down here, we are starting to look at these grab irons again. If you remember the episode where we painted these white, so what we're doing is we're examining these. Right now we have the ladder piece right here, and we're seeing how it's going to go right here. So we're working with some of the details and grab irons right now. Okay, as you can see, we're starting to place these. We have the ladder here, and we're starting to place the grab irons. So as you can see, we have it fitted in the holes that were there, and we're trying to judge the depth of the holes, and it looks like they're a pretty good depth, and we're gonna see how we can fasten this thing on here. Okay, we got the ladder on there. We attached it down here with a press fit into those 2 holes. And come up here, we attach the top with some more hardware. That just screws in from the back. So that ladder's on there, nice and secure. So let's work on some of the other grab irons. Okay, well, as you can see, we have all the details on the front here applied. We didn't put the side handrails on because we still need to flip the caboose on its side one more time to get the frame on. But as you can see on the front here, all the white details are on. The brake wheel, the ladders, all the grab irons on the front, even down to the little door handles on the door. So that's it for today. We'll probably be back tomorrow, So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in a few seconds. So enjoy some pictures in the meantime. Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those pictures of the front grab irons. Today we are going to do the same for the back grab irons. So let's get those on right now. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting the back grab irons on. They're looking pretty good. But as you can see, we're missing one thing, and that's the ladder. And if you remember from some episodes ago, remember we fixed that grab iron on the ladder. We soldered it, and then I glued it. And they actually had that angle in the first place, and we made it straight. So we had to fill in that hole, which you see right there, filled in with wood putty. And now we have to drill out a new one, so we're going to wait for that to dry, drill out a new hole, and we'll get the ladder fitted. Alright, but while that's drying, we're going to work on these plexiglass windows that we cut a few episodes ago. So let's see how we get those fitted in the meantime. Alright, well, we have most of the top windows in. As you can see, they're so clear that you can barely even see that there's one there. But we have all of them in except this one. And we need to recut that one because there was a imperfection in the glass. So as you can see, they're all in, and we're starting on the lower ones. I already have this one in, and we'll show you how we put one in by demonstrating on this one. Okay, so what we're first going to do is we have a window. This is the first right window. And so what we're going to do first is we are going to peel the backing off. Okay, and there's the other side without the backing. As you can see, it's perfectly clear, and I need to keep it in this orientation, so we're going to set it right down there while we get the sealant. Use the sealant, and how we use the sealant is that we are going to put thin bead around the sill of the window. On the side. Now that we have the sealant on there, we can take the window and press it up in place. Alright, as I zoom in here, you can tell there's a little bit of overbleed on the window, but that's okay because it's white now. But in a few hours, that'll dry perfectly clear and you won't even be able to tell. So, let's get a front view of that window we just put in. It looks perfectly clear. You can't even tell there's a window there, but it looks really good in person. Like I said, it looks white now, but that will dry clear, so that'll look really good. And these big windows go a lot easier than the smaller windows, let me tell you, because you're working with such a smaller window and they're all up in the cupola here. It's really hard to get the sealant up in there, but we tried our very best and I think they turned out really good. So here's the ones up in the roof again. And there's those. So we'll continue working. This side's done. We still have to do the doors and the other side of the windows. We'll get back to you when we have those in. Okay, we're back. We got all the windows in, except for this one. But anyway, all the windows are in. They're all beautiful and nice. They do have a little bit of smudging on the back because of the silicone, but that's okay. Once the silicone dries, the silicone sealant that is, when that dries, we'll come back and we have some car wax and we'll wipe down the back and make them look nice and clear and good. And so, in the meantime, remember, we paused from this project. This is the ladder. Still not quite complete yet, but we got it in place. As you can see, we drilled another hole down here. We drilled another hole. Had to go through the wood putty a little bit. So, we'll touch that up with red. And we come up here, the ladder comes up over here. You see the two posts going here. We're going to have to touch these up a little bit with some white at the ends, and then we'll put them in. Alright, so we did some touch-up work. As you can see, the ladder's not there anymore temporarily. It's over here. And I have my parts drying right here. Those are the railings, that's the ladder. I got the little grab irons on the toolboxes. Those got little scuffs, so I did some touch-up on those. And so now we wait for those to dry, and we'll come back and reapply the ladder to the back. Alright, so while we're waiting for numerous things, we're gonna do another little side project again, and that's the roof pieces. If you remember, we painted them, filled them in, and so now we're gonna glue them down. Remember, we had the tape marks here, and we're gonna glue them. Okay, just on a side note, this is totally irrelevant right now, but just as a side note, we glued the smokestack into the roof, and it was actually on an angle because the roof is angled, so we had to drill it out a little bit, and we Gorilla Glued it in there. In the meantime, these ladders are dry, so let's get the ladder on. Alright, well, I got the ladder on there, so that's good. It's attached at the bottom, and you can see only the one ring is there. And that's because we're trying to bend out the other one, because if you have it in there, it torques the ladder a little bit. So yeah, there's the one that we're bending. Just test fitting it. We got to bend it in a little bit. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We'll try to bend it the best we can. We'll see how it fits afterwards. Alright, it's repainted, so now it's ready to go. Put back on the Caboose. Alright, so while we're waiting for grab iron to dry, we have these door handles. So I was put it on the other side, so I'm going to put it on this side right now, while we're waiting for the other thing to dry. Alright, so while I'm here still waiting for things to dry, I'm going to put the brake wheel assembly on. Okay, the brake wheel is installed, ready to go. Just need a little bit of touch up on that nail head, including the other side. That's the hammer, but that's good to go. Still waiting on this to dry up here, so that'll be the next thing that we accomplish. Alright, so we got that clamped. We're pretty much done for today. We got a lot done today. We got the windows glued in, we got these rear grab irons put on. And we'll let that dry overnight. We're getting very close to finishing. Very exciting. Almost there. So, over and out. See you later. Very carefully, like we did before, and I'm gonna get like this. You can get them at any. It's too close. We can take a micro brush. Always to focus. Always. You want to focus. You will focus. You will focus on the micro brush. If you remember, why aren't you focusing? Yeah. Okay. Ready? This one better not have any imperfection in it. This one. Oh. Alright, again, so now we're, no. And so we're done for the day.